All right, all right. And see, we've gotten a chance to see all the Basement artists together in the Gin and Juice video, the remix video. Can you explain to us why that particular song was selected as a single with the video following, and explain to us the whole concept of the music video?
Well, the whole thing was about, let's see, who was it? I believe it was Jerry Bruckheimer who came and approached D and Michelle Pfeiffer. They were needing a track for the movie, and they were kind of trying to finish it off, and so they had, asked D could he contribute something to it. So, the long of it short, they flew us out. We met with Jerry Bruckheimer and Michelle Pfeiffer. Talked about, the movie so D could get a feeling, for what it was about so he could go back and write to it. And so, got everything together, went back. I believe he got, Static and the guys on it writing. And, the concept was just, that D was meeting with this, drug lord boss. I forget the guy's name. It was he's actually he used to do a lot of mobster movies, but the white guy that's actually in the video,
right?
He was supposed to be delivering product to him. They were smuggling some drugs,
right?
And to him, and he came up with it. The concept of meeting these guys at the club that you see in the beginning of the video, and he walks in, D walks in, and then they're in the back.
And you're sitting right there, right?
Yeah. And they come in, meet him, and the whole thing was, just him making sure that the shipment got through, and just D and Static running their drug business throughout the day, taking care of business all day long, making sure the product got through, and that kind of thing. And at the end, they end up getting snipped by the cops. Somebody snitches on them, and they're in the Ferrari. At the end, and actually in that helicopter, which is a little tidbit, that's actually me in the helicopter. If you look really close and zoom in on it, when the helicopter lands on the street and
wow.
They slam the brakes and slide, and he and Static get out. But what happens in that, that was the whole thing. They were running their product, they got snitched on, and then they were, being chased by the police, and we call out all these helicopters, whoop-de-whoop, kind of, just to, I guess, just action getaway kind of type vibe thing. Yeah, he just wanted something different, wanted some different angles. And even, I think at the end of that video, that camera that you see in the picture that I'm holding, when it was, I believe it was, Susan, Tweet, and Rolita, that was actually, it wasn't shot on film. There's a shot at the end. We did two versions of it. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but at the end you have, Susan, Tweet, and Rolita. Singing at the end. They come up really briefly at the back end. That was actually shot with that camera that we have in there, which wasn't even a film camera, but we worked it in at the back of the video and cut it in there with the rest of the film camera. That was when we were first exploring our options to become a film company, and we actually edited the video right there at Dejalon. We didn't send it out to a post house anywhere. That was actually the first thing that we did as a company, as far as producing something, was that remix of Gin and Juice.
Are you speaking about when the credits started coming up and then Sugar shows up? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Then Sugar shows up at the back end.
Okay. Now, see, we've seen through the different videos and pics back in the 90s that Devontae took a personal liking to Static, wasted no time introducing him as one of his promising artists. What was it about Static that caused Devontae to showcase him first?
You know what? It was the prolificness in his writing and the quality of it. It wasn't just shallow stuff that he was writing about. It was, it was stuff that people could relate to. And then, after being able to come up with subject matter that was relative to, everyday life that people could identify with, then he would turn around and be able to put, these hooks and these melodies to it and these harmonies. And it just, he just stood out and shined. In that area as an artist. It wasn't just being able to write and all those things, but also as a performer, he had the flair and the flavor as well. And that's why, he was, forming the group with them, with the Basement, with E Black and Jawan.
Okay. Now, I'd like to go to 95, the tour, where you had such big acts like Adina Howard, the Loonies, Naughty by Nature, Bad Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain in detail from beginning to end, what took place, experiences, whether they may have been with the bus rides, plane trips, behind stage, rehearsal, after party signings, all that good stuff.
Oh, man. Well, the first thing that took place is that Dee decides, and again, and this is how we roll, we just always like to be with each other. We had gotten back. Then we had, I think the day before, and a funny story there, we were on our way back from North Carolina, I believe. And, we were trailing with, all the flossy cars, the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and the BMW 850. Well, we end up getting into a high-speed chase with the police.
Oh, man.
Because we were speeding. So I decided to stop, thinking they were coming after me. This joker just shoots past me and just keeps gunning for D. It was D, Rolita, and somebody else in the car. Long of it short, D hits the gas, takes off, and, again, I pull over hoping he's going to pull over, behind me just to get after me, but keeps going, chasing after him. Well, D jumps off the freeway, cuts down through a neighborhood, pulls up at this random person's house and jumps out and runs in the house. Thank God he had some notoriety at that point, and the girls knew him and put him in there. Took his car, put it in the garage. So he calls me and tells me where he is. So I just kind of go slow because I don't know if they followed me or what. So, I wait about 45 minutes or so, and I roll up to where he is. And so we call ourselves being smart, gonna sit it out until the shift changes, right?
Yeah.
So it's about, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. So, we pony up, give a couple of autographs, and get in the car and bounce. So we get back on the freeway, and they have put an APB out for us.
Oh.
The woman keeps the toll gate down. They call the highway patrolman. They take us in, question us, ask us who we were, and it's like, no, when we give them this outlandish story, you're like, you know what? This is really funny because we had this guy, I won't name his name, who we said it was. We told him we were having somebody deliver our cars back up to New York for us because we wanted to fly back, and they called us and told them that they had a emergency and we had to come pick up the cars. So we came down there to pick them up ourselves, and we don't know what went on before that because see, they never saw us. So the man says, well, we have somebody who says that they know it was you, so they drive us back down to the toll booth, pull us up to the lady. And she looks at us, and we know good and well she saw us before when she had gotten off. Because he went by, he said he remember going by and looking straight in her face when he ran through the toll booth. And so she knew who it was. So we were sitting right there just mean mugging. And so she looked at us. She's like, nope, I've never seen them before.
Wow.
So the long of it short, they let us go. So we thought that was the end of it. No, we ain't had enough yet. We get back probably about 100 miles outside of Rochester, speeding again. Highway patrolman pulls up. I was like, oh my God. So both of us just pull over this time. So the guy pulls us over. He recognizes D. And the long of it short, because I know we got to get through this, but realizes who he is, and we tell him that we're late for the tour. And the reason the story is relevant is because we were trying to get back because we were getting ready to go to the tour. Uh-huh. So he talks to D, and we gives him the story. Hey, the bus is waiting on. We couldn't get back. We were trying to rush to get back here. And so the guy said, oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna let you go this time, but you need to slow it down. You guys follow me, and I'll lead you back. So D's behind me, and I'm in his Ferrari up in front, and D's in an 850 behind me. So we're following the guy, and the cop keeps speeding up. And so I'm thinking, is he trying to trick us into something to get us to speed again? So he keeps going. I'm hitting the gas, and so D is back there in the car, and he calls me and comes like, "What are you doing?" I said, he said to follow. So at this point, we up around 120 miles an hour with the sirens on in front of us. This joker leads us all the way back to Rochester, New York with the police escort. We pull up there. The bus is there. We sign a few autographs and call it the day.